It's safe to say that the world of first-person shooters has been a little dry lately, you know? It's been a little quiet, we're between big releases, and we're sort of in that awkward middle ground, trying to find something new to scratch that itch. Well, I may have found something, but does it stack up against the competition? G'day there once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Splitgate, a cheeky little first-person shooter that has just recently come out of beta. And yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm just going to get this right out of the way nice and fast. I've been bloody addicted to this game over the past week or so. I had a couple of you jump into my Twitch stream, which by the way, you should be following if you aren't already, twitch.tv/Kamikaze78, and tell me that I should give this game a go. And I'll be real, on first inspection, I was a little dismissive of this game, but I thought, you know, it was free, so what's the harm in giving it a go? After playing it, I now get it. This shit is addicting as hell. Splitgate is what would happen if Halo and Portal had a passionate, raunchy night of lovemaking, and its combo is something that I never would have expected to have worked in the first place. I mean, the concept of portals in an arena shooter that can be placed, manipulated, and even shot through by any player in the game has a huge risk of breaking map flow and the balance of the game entirely. But admittingly, that leads us on to the first big thing I have to commend the developers on here. The way in which they have designed the portals in the game and how it doesn't feel tacked on. We often see a lot of first-person shooter games out there that try to reinvent the norm by trying out new stuff for the sake of trying out new stuff, you know? More often than not, these new ideas just end up feeling cheesy or secondary to the core gameplay and just results in the game feeling like a bland reskin of an already tried idea. But Splitgate understands that the portals is what makes the game interesting, and every decision regarding map design and portal gameplay has been made with the intent of making them fun, but not completely game-breaking. As you've probably noticed from the background gameplay already, you can't place a portal just anywhere in the game as you please. There are specific walls, floors, and roofs where you can place your portal. And while this does allow for players to have a lot of flexibility when it comes to creating new flanks and creating movement opportunities that let you traverse the map in record times, it doesn't create overly confusing situations that are impossible to counter. Once you get to know the maps after a few rounds, you will start to learn what sections of the map have what portal options, whether that be through experimentation on your end or watching your opponents and what they're doing. You know, soon you'll find out what the best angles are for portal sniping, or are there particularly efficient ways at closing the distance on an objective or a power weapon at the start of the game to get the foot up. This is all stuff you will learn quickly and intuitively, and when you do something awesome with the portals mechanic, it feels amazing. Sometimes it's just funny as hell.
Yeah, a bit like that.
I got sniped.
Lol. There he is. Special delivery. But the way in which the maps have been designed to integrate the portal mechanics into the game has to be commended, and the attention to detail here feels fantastic, all things considered. But beyond how the map design integrates the gameplay of portals, the portals themselves do bring some unique gameplay opportunities you just don't see in many other shooters on the market. Yeah, you can shoot through these things, which means that if you're on a map with wide open vistas, you can snipe through your portal if you get a good angle. Playing a game of Oddball, use your portals as an escape method to cross the length of the map in an instant if you've planned out your portals correctly. The portal mechanic helps to really curb any campy, stalemate gameplay, and it forces players to keep moving often, because more often than not, any good camping spot in this game, or a corner per se, will have portal access nearby from an angle you wouldn't normally expect to see someone come through. It encourages creative, fast-paced gameplay, which I love to see. Now, while yes, you can see through your own portal, not all portals are created equal. You can travel through ally and enemy portals that are operational. Hell, you can even shoot through them, much like how you can your own. But you can't see through them, which also creates some really interesting counterplay. If you see an enemy's traces firing through a portal, you can do your level best to outportal them with a couple of well-placed shots, which has to be said is the ultimate level of disrespect on offer in this game. But should you not be feeling that creative, you can also use your EMP grenades to close enemy portals within the blast radius. So yeah, portals can be countered quite easily. They're not an I win button per se, but the whole dynamic on offer makes maps that you play on play differently every time depending on how creative the players in your matches are feeling. Which does give this game, which has to be said is just an indie arena shooter, a shit ton of replayability. But obviously, a good shooter has to have a good shooting experience to get anywhere. So how does Splitgate feel as a shooter? Well, there's a reason that people say that this is a mix between Portal and Halo, because the shooting mechanics here are very reminiscent of Halo's arcade shooter style. Hell, even some of the weapons and game modes are so very clearly ripped from Halo directly that I'm genuinely surprised that the game hasn't caught the watchful eye of Halo IP lawyers. I mean, the battle rifle in this game, both mechanically and aesthetically, is pretty much a straight up copy-paste from the Halo franchise, but I digress. If you like Halo's gunplay, then you'll like this. And with that in mind, I gotta say that I like it. Because I'll be honest, I've always liked Halo's gunplay, and I know that not everyone shares that opinion, but the moment-to-moment gunplay for me feels good, and the balance of weapons across the board also feels pretty solid. The assault rifle might be a little too overtuned at range at times, and the spray ability just might be a little too accurate, but I also could be wrong here. The sniper rifle, railgun, and battle rifle in particular all feel incredible to use, and the BFB, or the baseball bat. Look, I get it. I know that this thing is practically a gravity hammer from Halo as well, but the fact that it's just a straight up baseball bat gives it that feel-good vibe whenever you're using it. Plus, it's just terrifying as hell, having a dude charging you down with nothing to lose while screaming bloody murder with a baseball bat. You have to experience it to understand, much like my mate Tibbs09 here did. The raw panic of when you round a corner and there's a bat in your face. I've got the bat, boys, let's go. The game mode options here all feel pretty good as well, with stuff like TDM, King of the Hill, Domination, Free-for-all, Gun Game, and even stuff like Oddball, SWAT, and Contamination that all once again seem to take on board a pretty heavy inspiration from previous Halo games being on offer as well. But come on, there's no denying that the best game mode on offer here is Teabag Confirmed. You heard me right. Yeah, it's like kill confirmed from Call of Duty, but you have to teabag on your opponents to score a kill. You thought you experienced salty gameplay before. You ain't seen nothing yet, son. But okay, the gameplay feels good, the maps are good, it's dumb fun. What isn't there to like? Well, not too much if you're into this sort of thing, I'll admit. It's free to play, it's easy to get into, they've got a really intuitive tutorial to help you out, and I've got a referral code linked in the description down below if you are joining the game for the first time to use when prompted when signing in. But I do have one concern with Splitgate, whether or not it has the legs to go the distance. We've been making a lot of comparisons here to other shooters like Halo and Call of Duty because this game does draw a lot of its inspirations from those Goliaths of the industry. And while it does add a unique twist to the gameplay that we know and love, a big part of the reason I am enjoying it so much is because it does bring back a certain level of nostalgia for me. The nostalgia of getting home from high school and jumping onto my Xbox 360 to shoot the shit with my mates into the wee hours of the morning, playing Halo 3 multiplayer and custom games. And a lot of my mates who I've introduced to this game as well have felt the exact same sentiment. The game takes me straight back to those days while offering something relatively unique, and absolutely nailing that unique gameplay element, mind you. But part of me wonders if the Portal aspect of the game is enough to keep it running strong through the upcoming summer of releases, including the much anticipated release of Halo Infinite, which does look like it's making some pretty nifty gameplay enhancements on its front as well. Don't get me wrong, I think there'll be a really tight-knit community surrounding the game post-Halo Infinite release that will stick around due to its Portal mechanics. But I do think the developers of Splitgate now have a monumental task ahead of them to get ahead of the game as fast as possible while they can. You know, they need to be regularly releasing content updates, keep adding to the ways to play, new playlists, new weapons, so on and so forth, because once Halo does come out later in the year, they are going to have a massive amount of dev power behind them pushing out regular content updates to keep, you know, things going on the Halo front. And the multiplayer element of Halo is also going to be free to play, so accessibility between the two titles is also like for like. It's going to be an uphill battle come December, I think, for Splitgate, but I'm interested to see if they're up to the task because I do think they've got something relatively special on their hands here if they can keep things going. Now again, of course, because this is a free-to-play game, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go out and download it right now and give it a go, because why not? It's free. You may as well come and enjoy it while the water's warm. And hell, if you guys do decide to download the game, maybe we'll see each other on the Splitgate Arena. But guys, that is going to bring today's video to a close. If you enjoyed it, be sure to backhand the like button. If you didn't, feel free to dislike it as well. You know, let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on the game. Feedback is always appreciated and encouraged. As per always, guys, my social media links, including Twitch, Twitter, and Discord, all linked in the description down below. It would be great to see you guys on those platforms as well. And I hope to see you guys all in the next video. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you all in the next one.